Still waiting for care 90 days after a growth was discovered on his brain.
My condition is unfortunately deteriorating.
An Alberta radio host pleads with the Premier to intervene. Plus, a harrowing dog attack in a southeast suburb.
The dog had already gotten a hold of, Hank's neck.
The Calgary couple left with a traumatized pet and hundreds of dollars in vet bills. And the Snow Rodeo returns to the Stampede City.
Honestly, just some pretty big adrenaline junkies.
Some of the world's best extreme athletes get set to compete in Calgary.
CTV Calgary, local breaking news. With Tara Nelson, reporting tonight, Terry Fikowski.
Hello and thank you for joining us. The death of an Alberta man in an Edmonton emergency room is sparking fear for a medicine hat man. Last month, we told you about Kim Johnston, who was diagnosed with a debilitating brain growth. He's been waiting 3 months to see a specialist, and now he worries successful treatment is already too late. Tyler Barrow has more.
I'm warning the Premier, my MLA Justin Wright, Adriana LaGrange, and Surgical Minister Matt Jones. What happened at Grey Nuns in Edmonton will happen to me next.
Kim Johnston is referring to Prashant Srikumar, who collapsed and died while waiting over 8 hours in an Edmonton emergency department on December 22nd.
And you are up.
Johnston is a well-known Medicine Hat radio host who stepped away from the mic after an MRI in October found an arachnoid cyst pressing on his trigeminal motor nerve. That's the nerve that controls jaw movement and speech. His brain also struggles to communicate with his muscles.
Every day that those muscles don't get the signal from the brain, you're one step further away from any hope.
Vision in his left eye is also deteriorating. He has been waiting to get a neurological evaluation for over 90 days. He finally has an appointment in 3 weeks.
90 days is unacceptable, and I fear that I'm beyond the point of returning to normal life.
And his complaint is warranted, according to one medical expert.
Ridiculous to have somebody wait that long. Somebody who has progressive neurological symptoms like Kim does need to see somebody fairly quickly.
Friends of Medicare lauds Johnston for sharing his story, shedding spotlight on the capacity and workforce issues in the province.
What we need from the government is some transparency about what's happening with wait times and then solutions to bring those down.
Acute Care Alberta says specialized medical services are available in Edmonton and Calgary, and in a statement says they are focused on improving services for patients in more rural areas. They also acknowledge concerns over wait times, but say referrals are managed based on a patient's medical needs regardless of where they live. Improvements that couldn't come soon enough for some. Johnston is trying to stay positive while he waits.
I know that there are many others that face even more urgent difficulties than I am.
Tyler Barrow joins us live with more. Tyler, Kim Johnston is set to receive his evaluation next month.
Terry, he will get a neurosurgical evaluation on January 23rd at the Foothills Medical Center here behind me. Now, this would be over 110 days since the growth was first detected. Now, neurology referral criteria from U of C's medical school recommends an individual gets an assessment within 5 days. Terry?
Thanks for this, Tyler. A terrifying dog attack in Mackenzie Town caught on dash cam left another dog with serious injuries. It happened yesterday afternoon, and now bylaw officers are investigating. As Tyson Fedor reports, the owner of the injured dog wants justice.
What was supposed to be a quiet Monday afternoon walk was anything but. This dash cam capturing the moment a large dog attacked a small beagle and its owner in Mackenzie Town.
A young man in his car was able to pull over and scare off the dogs, and I was able to kind of run the other direction.
Amanda Doherty credits that young man for saving her 4-year-old beagle Hank's life from an attack that she says lasted more than a minute.
That dog was not letting go. So if that guy didn't come up and break it up, I don't know. Like, I know for a fact I wasn't letting go.
Doherty was walking Hank on Prestwick Street and Prestwick Link when a large black lab and what Doherty says is a healer-type mix approached them from behind and began biting Hank.
For him to be kind of in my arms and hearing him crying, that was very traumatic for me and very sad.
A 5-hour vet visit and hundreds of dollars spent on bills and medication. Hank is now back home recovering. His left ear has 14 stitches. and there is a puncture wound in his neck from the dog bite.
There's kids in the community, there's small dogs in the community, there's elderly people in the community. Like, this just can't, like, these dogs just can't get out and roam free and attack, like, especially unprovoked.
Doherty says she was left shaken by the incident, her boyfriend posting on social media, hoping to find a lead on the owner of the loose dogs. Now, Doherty has a warning for all other dog owners.
You could be doing all the right things. You've got your dog on a leash, you're in broad daylight, you know the area, you do all you can do, but at the end of the day, like, just always be aware of your surroundings.
Tyson Fedor joins us live with more. So Tyson, the city says it is investigating.
And Terry, that investigation is now open, and it says from the city says that Hank, that smaller dog, was in this intersection here behind me and was bitten by one of the larger dogs. However, the city has said at this point the second dog you see in that video was not involved in this attack. Now, officers do say that they have potentially narrowed down who the owners are of those two loose dogs, but at this point they cannot confirm who that person is. Terry, this investigation remains ongoing.
Thank you, Tyson. Global research led by the University of Calgary warns of the fallout from the rise of injuries in female athletes. They say it's not because of how female athletes play, but rather it's due to inequality. Jacqueline Wilson has the details.
From amateur sports to the pros, female participation in sports is soaring, but there's still so much disparity compared to men, from lack of research around how women's bodies are more prone to certain injuries, to using equipment made for men, and it's leading to injuries.
Historically, the provisions for sport for female, women and girls is inequitable, and there was really a real gap in the knowledge around female and women and girl specific strategies for prevention of injury. And so it was really important for us to bring together experts across the world.
Summarizing global data, the team developed a consensus statement with 56 recommendations to break down barriers for female athletes, decrease injuries and dropout rates.
So one of the things that a lot of our young girl athletes are struggling with is that they don't have access to the same resource or facilities or the expert coaching that we might see in other places. And so they haven't had the developmental opportunities.
Former competitive skier McKenna Lebsack thinks coaching expertise would have made a difference in her career before and after sustaining a major back injury.
Coaches, I think you need to educate from the ground up, because I do believe a lot of injuries come from being pushed.
Lebsack was at the conference of the International Olympic Committee when the findings were presented. The report was also published in the British Journal of Medicine.
I think this consensus statement, it's not the finish line, this is actually kind of the start. And we need to really work at getting this information out to athletes, to coaches, to parents, and to those end users that it'll benefit the most.
Jacqueline Wilson, CTV News, Calgary.
A link to the full report and the British Journal of Medicine is available on our website, ctvnewscalgary.ca. All right, let's bring in Danielle for our first look at the forecast. And it was a nice day out there today, the Chinook. And you were telling me before we got to the show that maybe even broke some records?
Yeah, now we have to wait for Environment and Climate Change Canada to confirm the numbers, because they have to go through the entire day. But I will say this, it looks like we got up to 10.9 in the city today, and the record for this day is 10.6 degrees. So just barely, but it looks like we broke a record. That will be confirmed for you tomorrow. We're now sitting at 9 as things cool down for the day. We've had gusts anywhere from 30 to 40 kilometers per hour over these last few hours. And that's really the story for the next couple of hours. Then things will quiet down with regards to the wind overnight. Tomorrow morning, a wind chill of -7. Fog patches are certainly likely, and a high of at least 5, with it being a little windy once again in the afternoon. I'll have your full New Year's Eve forecast coming up.
Thanks, Danielle. A blood drive was held today in honor of a young Calgary woman who passed away 2 years ago. Family and friends at Manal Milan rolled up their sleeves to mark what would have been her 20th birthday. Milan was born with thalassemia, a rare blood disorder, and underwent nearly 300 transfusions in her life. She passed away from complications from a bone marrow transplant at 18 years old. This is the second blood drive in her honor.
It means that she's continuing her life, and I just feel like by doing this, I'm keeping her alive, and that's my main goal. She was such an amazing person, such a smiley person.
The family also started the Manal for Life Foundation to raise awareness about thalassemia and to offer grief support for families coping with the death of a teen. Well, Jeremy Farkas took the top job at City Hall just over 2 months ago. Still ahead, a sit down with the mayor on his first orders in council and his priorities for the future. But first, the latest on the investigation into an alleged Canadian drug kingpin after the FBI seized millions in motorbikes. The FBI says millions of dollars worth of motorcycles have been seized in an international raid carried out by Mexican authorities. It's linked to Canadian alleged drug kingpin Ryan Wedding. Judy Trin is tracking the latest on the investigation.
Dozens of high-powered motorcycles worth an estimated $40 million seized in a joint operation by Mexican authorities, the FBI, the RCMP, and Los Angeles police. Authorities say the collection belongs to Canadian fugitive Ryan Wedding. Each bike contains valuable clues.
Determining the flow of his supply, the flow of, his income, his drug supplies, his narcotics, of how it's being transported.
Earlier this month, the FBI released a new photo of Wedding. It's believed the former Olympic snowboarder is being hidden by the Sinaloa cartel.
Sinaloa has been undergoing a real attack on their power and their ability to protect Wedding, consequently, is starting to crumble.
Analysts say that after the Trump administration declared drug cartels terrorist organizations, Mexico increased its efforts to ferret out Wedding, prompted by watching the U.S. attack Venezuelan drug boats.
This is something they would not have done before the United States declared that the cartels were terrorist groups, because they didn't have to. But now they feel the threat of the possible attack by the United States.
About 30 associates of Wedding have already been arrested, including Wedding's Toronto lawyer, Deepak Paradkar, accused of counseling suspects to murder an informant. The U.S. wants him extradited. Paradkar was granted bail last week because of health concerns.
Obviously, we've seen in the movies, and it's true, they're going to, take out, execute, kill any individual who could potentially become an FBI informant. If they're under investigation, they're being extradited to the United States, that's a risk to them.
Ryan Wedding has been on the run since 2015. Not only is he considered the biggest cocaine trafficker in Canada, he's also accused of at least 4 murders in Ontario. The FBI is offering $15 million for information that could lead to his arrest and conviction. Judy Trin, CTV News, Ottawa.
This is CTV News, Calgary.
Okay, Danielle, is it too early to start making jokes about next year's weather? Should I save that for tomorrow?
Yeah, save it for tomorrow.
Okay.
I mean, I'd appreciate any joke, though. This is exciting. We're wrapping up an entire year. So I have your forecast for you, and I'm going to give you the breakdown in just a moment. But first, let's kind of celebrate what today was. Today, we got to the double digits in the city. Basically 11. We got to 10.9 in the city. We're now sitting at 9. 8 in Lethbridge, 6 in Milk River. It's not as exciting if you get to the Chinook headaches. Then that's it. This is a doozy for you. Here's a look at the winds. Now again, all pretty much out of the west. This is the Chinook setup. 90 kilometer per hour gusts pretty much in Pincher Creek today. That will be the story in Pincher Creek tomorrow as well. And for us in Calgary, around 44. Again, that will be similar for tomorrow in the afternoon hours. We got just recently a gust near 60 in the Lethbridge area, which will be similar tomorrow as well. So especially in the afternoon, the winds will pick up once again. You can see that Chinook arch that's basically been building in throughout the day here. That will build in once again tomorrow. The winds will be pretty similar. It doesn't look like we'll be quite as warm in the city for tomorrow. This system that the north has been dealing with, central and northern Alberta, that's going to stay up there for the most part. We just have a little bit of instability in the far southwest corner, so a couple isolated showers, but that's really dying out at this point anyway. All right, let me give you the forecast for tomorrow. This is a look at this evening. Let me fast forward it here. Okay, tomorrow morning, it's mainly clear, but there will be cloudy periods at times. And again, we'll get that Chinook arch building in once again. Again, that system still in central Alberta. That will make its way out later in the day tomorrow. When we look at midnight, when we ring in 2026, it will be calm with regards to the weather. It will have a light wind in the city, but no real active weather to contend with. So if you are out, you may have trouble finding a way home, like Uber or cab, but you won't have to deal with any big snowstorms. All right, and then we have flurries possible in the far south on Friday. New Year's forecast for the city, 5 degrees by 3 p.m. By 6, you're looking at 2. Yes, it will be a little windy once again, gusts around 40 kilometers per hour, but that's what's getting us above that freezing mark. And then by midnight, as we ring in 2026, you're looking at -4 with a wind chill of -8. Here's your Action Furnace 5-day forecast. Tomorrow's one of the warmer days, and then we dip below freezing for Thursday to kick off the new year, and even cooler by Friday at -6 for a high.
Thanks, Danielle. Calgary voted in a new mayor and an almost entirely new council this past October. Mayor Farkas has inherited a lot of big projects, but is also trying to carve out his own priorities. Senior anchor Tara Nelson recently sat down with the mayor for a year-end chat.
Mayor Farkas, thank you for sitting down with us today.
Well, welcome to the mayor's office. Thanks for taking the time for me.
Congratulations on your win. This was obviously a long-time aspiration for you. You're now 2 months in, so how is it going?
Well, we're here on exactly the 50th day since taking office, and it's been incredible bringing together council, working as a team, really delivering on our campaign priorities. We went through what was Calgary's longest budget debate in the city's history, but we really delivered on safety, on affordability, housing, all of the things that Calgarians sent us here to do. And there's a lot of work to come in the next 4 years, but really excited again just to be part of this team.
Calgarians didn't exactly embrace this idea of municipal party politics. You ran as an independent and won. Only 6 of 14 city councillors were affiliated with a party during the campaign. You pledged that you would avoid partisan politics in council. So how is that going?
Well, you see it in the results, right? The big votes on, say, blanket rezoning, that was 13-2. On my first budget, that was 12-3. So running as an independent, I get to work across party lines. I get to work with both a Liberal Prime Minister and a Conservative Premier across party lines within the council chamber itself. And I don't think it's a coincidence that this was one of the lowest turnout elections, and it was the first election with political parties. Political parties just don't cultivate the kind of debate that we need around municipal issues. And when I think about the mandate that I earned, it was to be practical, it was to be pragmatic, to address housing issues, safety concerns, affordability. And when you're so focused on trying to score cheap points for a political party, that's really at the expense of the people who sent you to the office in the first place.
One of the biggest issues heading into the election, of course, was blanket rezoning, and you've now started the process to repeal it. Tell me what your biggest issue with blanket rezoning is.
So blanket rezoning, essentially, it ended up allowing for big eightplexes in the middle of a block without parking. Typical blanket rezoning property would be, say, a $600,000 bungalow being torn down, replaced with 4 $750,000 luxury condos. That's not about affordability, and it's also short-circuiting the community input out of the process. One of the biggest issues with blanket rezoning is that Calgarians did not feel heard through the process. Several members of council had already made their mind up going into the public hearing, so it wasn't necessarily just the what, it was also the how. So our council is taking decisive action to address the issues that Calgarians had around that, starting the repeal, but also giving a lot of thought to what comes next. We still got to build. We're on the cusp of a city of 2 million people, where there's going to be significant housing challenges, services, infrastructure challenges. We still got to build, but it needs to be in a thoughtful way that includes the community and focuses the greatest density closest to, say, transit corridors, education, employment, where the services and infrastructure can support it.
So what are some of the other measures that you're looking at, and how will you bring your colleagues on board?
So just yesterday, we supported an unprecedented amount of money for new affordable housing projects, specifically at that affordable price point. The budget that council passed as well included significant support for city-owned land to be made available for nonprofit providers, more investment for affordable housing, assisted living, seniors living. So when we think about the city's role, it's also in terms of the business environment. We need to keep taxes competitive, and we also have to have a fair permitting and regulatory environment so that the city isn't needlessly blocking development.
The last public hearing on blanket rezoning took 3 weeks. It cost $1.2 million. Many people might see that as just a waste of time and money because now you have to do it all over again. How will you ensure that it's done more efficiently this time, but that Calgarians' concerns are also still heard?
Well, it is the job of City Council and the Mayor to listen to Calgarians at any cost. The cost of not listening to Calgarians is even more significant. We really have to get this right. And of course, I ran on a certain mandate with a certain platform. All of my colleagues did as well. But we have to better incorporate the wisdom of the community. We have to listen to Calgarians. We have to deliver on housing with the community and not just against the community.
Does scrapping blanket rezoning put any federal funding at risk?
The funding is tied to outcomes. So as long as Calgary is continuing to deliver the needed housing at the price points that are required, how we do that is up to us.
Let's talk transit a little bit. The Green Line, of course, is the city's biggest infrastructure project ever. You're inheriting this plan, essentially, including the portion that Mayor Gondek really didn't like, which was the elevated section through the core. How do you feel about it?
We're still continuing to work through the process with the provincial government about what that downtown alignment looks like. Work is proceeding really well for the southeast portion, and we also got to keep our eye on the ball. We need to have a plan to be able to extend it north of the river, as well as to the far south health campus, and it can't just be about Green Line. We need to deliver on the Blue Line extension to allow for access finally to our international airport.
What if, as you study that elevated portion through the downtown core, you come to the same conclusion that it just isn't the best plan for downtown businesses? The province threatened to pull funding the last time that this plan was rebuffed.
Well, I have assurances from my provincial counterparts that they are going to approach this in a thoughtful way. The work that's being commissioned to study that downtown portion, that's mutually of interest to us. So we're continuing to engage here with the local residents, the businesses who are the most impacted. And I think everybody involved, especially the Premier, want to get this right. A lot hinges on that Grand Central Station. So it's not just about building this Green Line, we're building our downtown for the next century. When we think about integration with the potential of the future Calgary Airport to Banff rail connection, there's a lot of complexity here, but we need to measure twice and cut once so that we don't end up regretting what we build in the future.
Earlier this month, Council wrapped up a lengthy budget debate, a dip into investments to bring down property taxes, and nearly $100 million set aside to tackle public safety issues. Our conversation with the mayor continues next. And later, Beyoncé joins the Billionaires Club after a record-breaking world tour. Welcome back. Calgary's new mayor is hoping to reset the relationship with the province, but says he's no pushover. Mayor Farkas is determined to stand up for Calgary and says the priorities laid out in this month's budget are further proof. Once again, here's Tara Nelson with their year-end chat.
How are you approaching the relationship with the province? I mean, it has done a lot in the last few years to sort of insert itself into municipal business. The bike lane issue would be a good example. There may be a push to remove fluoride from our water following the UCP AGM. Do you think that the province is overstepping its boundaries? And as mayor, what are you doing to make sure that Calgarians' perspectives prevail in Calgary?
Well, I sought and earned a mandate to partner with the province when it made sense for Calgarians, but also be prepared to push back, but always on an issues basis, attacking the problem and not the person. I've been really grateful for the outreach that the Premier, as well as many provincial ministers, have made in the recent days since I've taken office. We're very committed to working collaboratively and better understanding where both sides are coming to a certain issue. The province may look at a certain issue and come to a certain judgment or decision, but if I can be at the table early presenting Calgary's case and presenting some of the considerations and the knowledge that we have here on the ground, I understand that the Premier is very open to hearing from us, and her previous statements really are about driving local decision making and ensuring that there's a clear delineation between our respective responsibilities.
But it seems like sometimes there isn't. It seems like the province does insert itself into municipal business for Edmonton and Calgary.
I will never back down when it comes for fighting for Calgarians' interests.
Let's talk a little bit about all the things that came out of the budget. So you mentioned there the overall property tax increase going from 5.8 down to 1.6, but in part you were able to do that by canceling the planned tax shift from non-residential to residential properties. So what do you say to businesses at the end of this year who were expecting to pay less tax next year, not more?
So Council did the hard and thoughtful work of cancelling the tax shift because we needed to tackle the issue for everybody. It wasn't good enough to simply move the burden from one type of taxpayer over to a different kind and say the problem's solved. So we really went to work to be able to reduce the overall burden for everybody. And with the tax shift, the typical multi-residential property, somebody who may live in an apartment or condo, was set for a 20% tax increase because of that shift, with so much of the shift happening in 1 year. So Council undid the shift, but we brought down the overall rate for everybody down to 1.6. So it wasn't like the taxes were hugely increased on businesses because of that. We did the hard work to be able to reduce it for everybody. And we can't just pit residents against business owners. That's not how we run a city. We need to find a solution for everybody involved.
Now, to reduce the property tax increase, Council did tap into $50 million of investment income. Is using investment income and reserve funds something that you're comfortable doing?
So every year the city posts a surplus of between $200 and $300 million from investment income. Our decision was to take the first $50 million of that investment income every year and apply it to the priorities specifically around public safety. So when we take a look at the new transit officers, the new police officers, the new firefighters, the equipment, that is where the first $50 million is being allocated for. I do acknowledge that it's increased spending, but I am happy to go to Calgarians and defend that spending is absolutely necessary right now when we think about the significant challenges that Calgarians are facing around social disorder, as well as the scale that the city is growing.
Let's talk about public safety spending. You've boosted public safety $94 million in targeted spending. So how and where will Calgarians actually see that money in action?
So they'll see it on regular transit officer presence, especially around peak service on trains near major stations. They'll see it in increased investments in maintenance for police vehicles. They'll see it in an increase in staffing for administrative as well as frontline roles in our police service as well as fire department. And ultimately, they'll also see it in terms of essential infrastructure maintenance.
Is public safety one of the biggest issues for you? Does that sort of trickle down into everything else in the city?
Public safety is the issue. And it manifests in different ways in terms of homelessness, housing, in terms of affordability, where people can afford to live, whether they can afford to operate their business. If you do not have a safe city, nothing else matters. And that is squarely the responsibility of our mayor, our council, our local government. And that's why our council acted decisively to fund these investments.
Most politicians at this stage anyway sort of clearly identify where they are in the political spectrum, whether it's conservative or liberal. Where would you say that you're sitting right now?
Well, that was a big question on the election, and with the party politics, it just tried to force people to take sides, to take extreme positions, and like most Calgarians, I'm pretty difficult to put in a box. Fiscally responsible, socially live and let live, a lot of experience in the nonprofit sector. I ran an environmental organization, grew up in a refugee immigrant family, one of the first in my family to be able to finish high school, university. My story is Calgarian story, very difficult to put in a box, but more wanting to be judged based on your actions. I think that our city hall works best when we're practical, we're pragmatic, and we're focused on running the business of the city rather than getting into ideological debates about whether you're a liberal or conservative, because the whole point of being here is to fill the potholes. It's to clear the streets of snow. It's to make sure that everyone has clean drinking water coming out of our pipes. We're so busy doing that stuff that we don't have time to have these philosophical debates.
My final question, Mayor, is more of a curiosity.
Okay.
And I just feel like maybe there might be a story here. Your background is Hungarian.
Yes.
And yet you very often are wearing this tartan tie, which would be more Scottish. Is there something symbolic there or significant?
Well, this is actually the official City of Calgary tartan. So I am not Scottish, but it is my ability to be Scottish for the day. And I wear it on the days that I'm in a city council committee or a city council meeting. Today we have our audit committee, so this is my opportunity to wear the tie. It just seems like it's the only tie that I have because we're in so many meetings, but I do promise that I have other ties.
There you go. I think that is a little bit of information that many Calgarians probably didn't know. Mayor Farkas, thank you for sitting down with us.
Yeah, thank you, and wishing you and yours a Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and looking forward to continue to get together.
I was also curious about the tie. Still ahead, a community calendar with a comedic twist. The town of Nanton celebrates a dozen volunteers with a unique and cheeky fundraiser. You know those firefighter or police calendars with the fancy photo shoots? Well, the Nanton Skating Club is adding its own creative twist by recognizing 12 volunteers in the community. And they've thrown a comedic flair with pictures that are used to help fundraise for the club. Tyson Fedor reports.
Christy Patton and Laurel Holmes are flipping through the 2026 calendar fresh off the press. It's an ode to the town of Nanton and will raise some much-needed money for the Nanton Skating Club.
Not only do people want to buy this calendar because it's funny, it's a little bit cheeky, and you know, we have these really handsome guys in our calendar, but they just want to support the club.
And it's cheeky because of the pictures inside. 12 dedicated volunteers ranging from local sports, the Ag Society, and kids clubs were recognized by the community.
It's nice to be recognized, but it's also one of those things, is it a trick?
There's no other town that has this amount of support from its local people.
I really think it's an awesome way to raise some money for one of the local clubs.
Each volunteer was then told to pose for a photo. Some were snapped on the farm, the golf course, and even the ice rink.
It's not something I've seen in the community, so it's been a long time. And yeah, it's something different than a raffle ticket, and it brings a bunch of the community members together.
Anything we can do to raise money for the community and help out or help kids and get things going is great.
Without this kind of stuff, a lot of these clubs just can't carry on.
While the skating club raises money, the calendars can be purchased for $20. They have sold more than 150 and plan to sell more if demand remains high.
Any way we can highlight people that volunteer in the community is so important, because these people are the ones behind not just one project, but several projects within our community.
And for those who have called the community home for decades, the recognition does not go unnoticed.
It's a great town we live in, and to be recognized as someone that contributes that's worthwhile.
I grew up in Nanton, so it's ingrained. That's everybody has given back to the community in the form of a service club or their time.
Tyson Fedor, CTV News, Nanton.
We're sort of in that holiday limbo time. So if you have some leftover flour from holiday baking, here's a unique way to make use of it during the holidays. Okay. Every December 28th, the people living in the town of Ibi in the Valencia region of Spain have a flower fight. A group of men stage a fake military coup armed with eggs, flour, firecrackers, and then they impose silly rules on the residents. They ask them for taxes and levies, and then the money goes to charity. And they have actually been doing this every year for more than 2 centuries.
Okay, so that looks more fun than the tomato thing, I would say.
That's so true, but imagine they got together. That'd be a good mix.
Oh, yeah.
I just keep thinking, imagine you were celiac in this town.
Yeah, you forget that. You have to leave for that week.
You have to leave, yeah.
But then how do you clean that? Eggs and flour?
You have to wait for rain.
Yeah.
Okay, on the topic of playing with your food, parents typically tell their kids not to do that, but this next video might just be the exception.
Welcome to Jurassic Park.
This is the viral Jurassic Park food volcano. Have you heard of this?
No.
It's made up of mashed potatoes for the volcano, gravy lava, dino nuggets, and then broccoli for trees or other greens there. A Missouri mom went viral on TikTok for this creation. Now people have been making their own versions. I mean, it's one way to get kids to eat their broccoli.
Yeah, smart. It's a lot of work.
Big meal. I know, that also sets the standards a little high, right?
Yes.
And speaking of setting the standards, okay, Beyonce has a lot of claims to fame, and now she can add billionaire to the list. According to Forbes magazine, she's one of only 5 musicians to reach the milestone.
This ain't Texas, ain't no hold on, so lay your cards down.
The 44-year-old joins the small group of entertainers to be declared billionaires by Forbes, including her husband Jay-Z, Taylor Swift, Bruce Springsteen, and Rihanna. The publication says most of her wealth comes from her music and global tours. This is, I think, the least surprising thing, isn't it?
Yeah, I thought she was already there.
I'm surprised there's actually only that few of them there, especially with how crazy concerts have gotten.
Right. Terry will never be there. Okay. But anyway.
All right. Well, that's that. Thanks, Danielle. Coming up, the RCMP is refuting some claims made by the Alberta Next panel. It suggests moving ahead with a provincial police force, but Mounties say the information is outdated.
CTV Ski Report, sponsored by Castle Mountain Resort, celebrating 60 years of skiing in the South Canadian Rockies.
Well, today was a toasty day, wasn't it? I'm pretty sure we broke a record. Environment Canada has to confirm that, and they'll do that tomorrow. We'll keep you posted. But we got nearly to 11 degrees today. So that's something for the end of December to wrap up this lovely year. 9 is the current temperature. There you go. 10.9 was our high today. And the record for this day from 1963, 10.6. Wow. All right, here's a look at temperatures at the moment. And you can see that things are starting to cool down for the day, but these are still very warm temperatures in this corridor here for the end of December. 9 right now in Calgary, 8 in Lethbridge, 6 in Milk River, and other communities outside of that starting to dip below that freezing mark at this point. It will be another warm day tomorrow for all communities in southern Alberta, and then we'll start a decline from there. There's that Chinook arch that is built in for today. It will be back in for tomorrow. Your 24-hour forecast brought to you by Action Furnace Fixed Right, or it's free. Fog patches tonight, a wind chill of -7 to kick off the day tomorrow, and the gusts picking up to 40 kilometers per hour in the afternoon with a high of at least 5. So tomorrow won't be quite as warm in the city. Salmon Arm will get to 2 for tomorrow. Edmonton, a high of -4 expected. North of Edmonton, more snowfall. Olds -1, Drumheller -4, and headed further to the south, 6 in Lethbridge is a high for tomorrow. 1 in Medicine Hat, a little on the windy side as well there.
Thanks, Danielle. Calgary police are investigating a death in the city's northwest. Officers were called to a home on Citadel Crest Circle Northwest earlier today. They found a person dead inside. Police aren't sharing the person's age or gender. An autopsy will take place tomorrow, and they're asking anyone with information to contact them or Crime Stoppers. The union representing Mounties is shooting down the Alberta Next panel's recommendations to ditch the RCMP and go ahead with an Alberta Police Service. As Nicole Lampa explains, it's a familiar dispute that disappeared a few years ago, but this time may not go away.
The National Police Federation has issues with the Alberta Next panel's recommendations to end the province's contract with the RCMP in 2032 and replace it with a provincial police force.
It's basically recycling sensitive and outdated claims to revive a policing proposal that Albertans have already rejected.
The panel, led by Premier Danielle Smith, says a provincial referendum on the topic is inappropriate, saying only 20% of Albertans are served by the RCMP. The Alberta RCMP says that figure is 40%. The RCMP's union says it held its own province-wide town halls 4 years ago in a campaign called Keep Alberta RCMP to counter the 2020 Fair Deal panel, which was the original form of the Alberta Next panel.
That despite there being a clear lack of interest in this from the people that actually foot the bill, the taxpayer, the province continues to kind of trudge down this road come hell or high water.
The press secretary of Alberta's public safety minister says it's reviewing the recommendations and adds once fully operational, the Alberta Sheriff's Police Service will help fill gaps and the government will give municipalities more options for local policing. A local criminologist points to the new Grand Prairie Police Service as a potential blueprint for other towns to consider and is perhaps a reason why a provincial police force may seem more palatable now.
And maybe this is the time where the RCMP needs to start to look at more federal and that type of thing, more like the FBI, and every province could go to a provincial police agency.
CTV's public safety analyst says the RCMP's union has little say if the UCP go ahead with a provincial police service.
The bottom line is if the province makes the decision to go a different route, then that's something that's going to happen.
The union says it's not giving up. Nicole Lampa, CTV News, Edmonton.
welcoming a winter rodeo back to Calgary. Some of the world's most extreme athletes are hitting the super pipe to qualify for next year's Olympics. The story is next. If you're looking for a great way to kick off the new year, a free event at Winsport is sure to draw a crowd and get the blood pumping. The annual Snow Rodeo will see extreme skiers and snowboarders compete in one of the world's best super pipes. It's a fun watch, but as Tim Brook explains, there's also a lot on the line.
Some of the world's best snowboarders and skiers will be locking in this week right here in Calgary. Practice has started for the 6th annual Snow Rodeo. It'll be laying claim to the halfpipe at Winsport Canada Olympic Park from Thursday to Saturday.
Basically, you have this big snow ditch, and they are taking speed into the walls and try to fly up as high as they can in the air, doing some pretty crazy spins and tricks and some cool grabs. It's a pretty gravity-defying event, kind of legendary in the snow sport world for sure.
And it means just a little bit more this year as athletes scramble to qualify for next year's Winter Olympics.
It's super fun to watch. It's a great atmosphere. The last couple of years there's been a ton of people. It's an extreme sport.
Yeah, I mean, it's unreal. You know, you dream of it for so long, and it's surreal for sure.
Free skiers and snowboarders from around the world will compete, but most eyes will be focused in on a handful of locals.
Born and raised here, grew up here, riding here my whole life, and yeah, I'm just excited to put down a run in front of my family.
Some here have already traveled around the world and represented Canada at prior Olympics. Still, they all tell us they mark the Snow Rodeo on their calendar.
I think it's such a fun event and cool for Calgarians to come out and be able to watch this, because it's not often you have a bunch of World Cup athletes training in this pipe.
The free events kick off on Thursday. Riders can't wait.
I mean, we compete for you guys, we compete for the fans, we compete also for ourselves, but we like to put on a show for sure.
Tim Brook, CTV News, Calgary.
Okay. That looks fantastic,
Yeah.
and it's nice to know that we got a bunch of snow in December for events like this, whether it's in Calgary or the mountains. But now you can actually go outside and watch it, and it's not going to be too cold.
Yeah, you can watch all the things because it's not too cold. And I'm going to say it, and I'm sure I'm going to get some notes on this one, but I'm a better fair weather skier than, you know, when it's minus 40 and you've got to, yeah. It's more enjoyable. Anyway, here's your New Year's forecast. 3 p.m., 5 degrees. Yes, it will be a little on the windy side, 40 kilometer per hour gusts. At supper time, 2 degrees. And if you are heading out, make sure you bring your jacket because you may be stranded out there for a while. -4 will be the temperature with a wind chill of -8 at midnight when you kick off 2026. Weather window brought to you by Lux Windows and Doors, crafting quality windows and doors for your style, budget, Alberta's climate. And Vera Jerdum sent this in. This is taken in Okotoks. Pretty awesome picture, isn't it?
It's beautiful, actually. The colors are great. And what a nice way to wrap up the show. Thank you all so much for watching. We will see you back here tomorrow night.